Hi there folks, welcome back to my beekeeping journey. Today I want to take you through my exciting experience of harvesting honey for the first time. I started beekeeping back in May and I just bought 2 hives. The second month into beekeeping, I had the golden opportunity to harvest some honey. To be honest, I wasn't quite sure how much honey I would get my first year, if I would get any at all, but I decided to play it safe and bought a cheap honey extractor so that I'll have one if I'll need it. This extractor can fit 4 frames and 2 of them can be deep frames. I also got one with a hand crank just for the full beekeeping experience. Fast forward to June 22nd, I was inspecting one of my hives and it seemed like the bees were honey-bound. They were filling the brood nest with honey, leaving less room for the queen to lay eggs. So I saw my first opportunity to extract some honey and help them out at the same time. I grabbed 2 frames that were mostly capped and headed to the garage to start extracting process. First, I carefully cut off as many caps as I can with a knife, and then I went through with the cap scratcher to make sure all of the honey was uncapped. Let me tell you, it was quite a messy procedure. Speaking of surprises, take a look at this. Some frames had different kind of honey on them. It had pinkish color and tasted like berries. I'm not exactly sure where it came from, but it was a delightful discovery. I placed the frames into the extractor and my son started spinning it. The extractor was wobbling quite a bit, so we had to strap it to a tractor tire to keep it stable. After a bit of spinning, I took out the frames and uncapped the other side as well and spun them again. Now this extractor has a cutout hole on the bottom, but it's not at the very bottom. So to get all the sweet honey out, I had to tilt the extractor and try to get as much of it out as possible. From those 2 frames, I managed to get a little over half a gallon of honey, but the adventure didn't stop there. A week later, on July 3rd, I extracted even more honey from another hive to give him some breathing room. This time, I ended up with 1 gallon and 1 quart of liquid gold. 3 weeks later, on July 26th, I went through all the hives and did the final harvest for the year, taking off the honey supers as well. Now I just gotta go extract that honey. There might be like 10 frames max of honey, but you won't believe it, but I got a whopping 3 gallons. So to sum it up, in my first year of beekeeping, from the 2 hives that I bought for $600, I collected about 5 gallons of honey, which equals to roughly 60 pounds. Considering that our local raw honey goes for around $80 per gallon, that's $400 worth of honey. If I would sell it, it would cover almost half of my expenses for the bees. Currently, I spent a little over $900 on all my beekeeping equipment and the 2 beehives that I bought. And that, my friends, is the incredible journey of my first year of beekeeping. Now it's time to shift gears and start preparing my bees for the upcoming winter. Thanks for joining me on this adventure and stay tuned for more beekeeping updates.